So we're going to talk about the action of rods in this video, and pretty much when you go into a tackle store, you wonder, oh, what type of rod it is. There's so many options out there. Well, the manufacturers make it a lot easier for you. What I wanted to talk about is what do all this mean, all the writing behind the rod. It is self-explanatory. However, for those that don't know, I thought I would just break it down for you. Well, when it comes to the rod, firstly, you obviously got your model code. That more than likely is just made up by the manufacturer. But then you'll see 702, which means 7 foot 2, right? And then when you'll see a 606 or 6'6", that means your rod is a 6'6" rod. But then you get all these other things that say LFS, for example. So the L stands for light, your medium will be your M, and your H would be your heavy. So in other words, if you see a rod that says XH, that would be extra heavy. However, like in this case, what the rod I'm holding in my hand at the moment, this says LFS, which means it's a light, fast action spinning rod. Now, when it comes to the action of the rod, you would find you'd get your fast action, you'd get a medium action rod. That is to do with the sensitivity of the rod and where the rod is going to bend, the arc of the rod, right? So the faster the action, the better it's going to be for casting. However, your pulling power is going to come with your medium and heavy. The other guideline on your rods are the casting weights. Guys, these are crucial. Now, bear in mind, you'll find some rods that will say 5 to 7 ounce. You'll find some rods that will say 4 to 6 ounce. That is a guideline. Like, for example, in this case, this is a 5 to 21 grams. It's obviously pretty light. Now, this is a guideline from the manufacturers where your lowest casting weight could be 5 grams. Your maximum would be 21 grams. Ideally, what you want to do is be in the middle of that. So in this case, I would probably use something that's about 12 grams. Or if I'm using something heavier where my rod is saying 5 to 8 ounces, I would use a 6 to 7 ounce. Guys, the loading of the rod is important. These are made by the manufacturers. These are tested through the manufacturing process to see what the rod is exactly capable of. What you do not want to do is overload a rod or underload a rod, because you are not going to get the right action when it comes to casting. So look at these details when you are buying a rod. It is crucially important, and look out for my next video where I'm going to be talking about what to look for when it comes to graphites off a rod. Let us know in the comment sections what action you prefer, whether it's light, medium, heavy, whether it's a fast action rod or a slow action, or if it's a casting or a spinning. There's so many options out there. I'd love to know what you are fishing with.